What's up, Charles?
Not too much. Eating again.
I know I can. You know, we hear it loud and clear. It just stimulates my hunger muscles.
Well,
George White, right on. George White is on, like the first one. George, all I gotta say is you the man. You're a huge asset to the village, as all of you are. But George, thank you very much for what you do. Thank you very much for what you do. So anyway, how's it going, Charles? How's it going? Sounds good. Roxanne says sounds good.
well,
It does, man. It does. T
I just want to
Moises.
be.
I'm assuming T Moises is Tyson on YouTube. What's up, buddy?
I just want to say that I just want to bring happiness to those out there who, there's people that gobble, they inhale their food, and there's people that really take too long. You fall asleep watching you eat, and there's people like me that just, no matter if the thing is good or bad, it's on. Hmm.
It's you know on Monday, my coworker Cindy came in with a bag about that big. I don't know if you, yeah, about big, huge bag full of Halloween candy, and I swore I wasn't gonna touch them. But in there, Charlie had Kit Kat, had
Hmm.
Snickers, Almond Joy, um, Reese's. Oh my God! So in the last few days, I had pound way more candy than I should have, and
Brother, you better go check your A1C.
I check on my. Thank God, mine is good. I think. Oh, oh boy, Patsy was watching, and you see what I get, Charlie? I get boiled peanuts. I get
Well,
boiled peanuts.
I got some too. Where'd you get yours from?
Patsy makes it. She buys the raw peanuts and then she actually boils it herself. Charlie, it's phenomenal. It's so good. And we have a small house, so when she boiled the peanuts, it's really hot, but it's worth it. It's worth it, man. But you know, I'll eat one just because. I'll eat one. I don't think you can hear the crunch like we're hearing from your. But oh, I gotta tell you, you crack them. Mm, mm. I'm just going into my microphone. But the problem with boiled peanuts is you cannot stop. You just cannot stop.
Hmm.
Anyway, hey everybody, I know it's almost 7 o'clock. I want to thank all of you that watched last night. The replay of that concert. Wow, plenty tears, man. It was emotional. It was touching. It was informative. It was. If you guys didn't watch it, go back and watch it. It's up on our YouTube channel, or you can watch it on the Facebook page.
Mhm.
But it was awesome. Just hearing the stories, listening to those singers. It was a true concert actually, and it was about an hour and a half, but it was worth it. I watched it again, start to end. Saw your comments, appreciated it. So yeah, it was awesome, man. It was nice to release some of that emotions that we have from all kinds of sources. Um, so thank you guys all for tuning in last night. I don't have no idea what that was, but tonight we're gonna talk story a little bit, and I'm gonna wait a little while longer because we only get 55 people on tonight. I think a lot of people not sure if they knew we were gonna be on or not, but um, today the lieutenant governor on Spotlight made some interesting statements, interesting comments. Our good friend George White was able to snip a few of them, three of those segments out, and sent it up. So um, and I'm hoping that I don't know why my hang on, I gotta check something here. Okay, it's all working. So George White, took out three very short sections and a fourth section from another expert that we're gonna play. I'm gonna start the show off with that so we can have a discussion. But I did want to say thank you for all tuning in last night for Veterans Day. Again, Thank you to our veterans, both those that are living and those that have passed, our future veterans. Thank you for your service. Also, want to wish my daughter happy birthday. 27 years old today.
Yep. Happy birthday,
27.
Nikki.
Yeah, they're all out with my son, and they're out having a birthday celebration with some close friends. So I'm sure they're having a blast. But yeah, proud of her, and so thankful that she's somewhat recovered from COVID. She still got some, I think she'll have long haul, but it's not major. But 26. I'm sorry, 26. 26 years old. Hello. Makes you feel old, Dad? Yes, it makes me feel old. My son is 31 or going to be 31. 31. Anyway, I'm not good with math and numbers, but anyway. So for those of you that are on tonight, um, and George, I know George is on again. Thank you, George, for providing those clips. I just did not have the time today to break it up. I was actually going to play the whole interview. He's not in the mainland anymore. He's at home. He got home today or yesterday. He was on the mainland fundraising and for his campaign, but that's fine. Let him do what he got to do. Uh, the point is that we are at a period now that is dangerous. It's scary. It's this Delta variant, the other variants, the surges around the world, the surges around the country, and we should all be aware of that and be careful of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clips. I gotta push a few buttons, so bear with me while I do it. Um, Let me see. Let's go get the first one here. And let's do it. Wait, I gotta open them up first. I learn how to do this. All right, here we go.
Pandemic, of course, but the virus is becoming endemic. In other words, it's being controlled now better than ever over the last many months. And it also means that we have to, at the same time, return to what matters in life and what makes sense. You cannot live under a cloud of fear forever. We're in a pretty safe place. I'm not prepared to declare an end to the pandemic, of course, but the virus is becoming endemic. In other words, it's being controlled now better than ever over the last many months. And it also means that we have to, at the same time, return to what matters in life and what makes sense. You cannot live under a cloud of fear forever. We're in a pretty safe place. I'm not prepared to declare an end to the pandemic, of course, but the virus is becoming endemic. In other words, it's being controlled now better than ever over the last many months. And it also means that we have to, at the same time, return to what matters in life and what makes sense. You cannot live under a cloud of fear forever. We're in a pretty safe place. I'm not prepared to declare an end to the pandemic, of course, but the virus.
Okay, okay, that's the first one. Hang on. Uh oh. Wait, wait, wait. Sorry, guys. Did I? Is this the same one? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. It just takes a few little.
I don't. I don't play this game where people suggest I'm ever making any kind of foolish assertions. I'm being very straight with people as a doctor first, and then as lieutenant governor second. And I can tell you that we have come to a place that's much safer than any other state that I visited, any other group that I've spoken with. We have, the upper hand. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be smart and continue to watch what this virus does or doesn't do, whether it changes. It's really important that we are sober about this, that we don't point fingers. We're in a great spot. I don't play this game where people suggest it's
Okay. That's and I'm missing one. I'm gonna go just play the third one because that's the most important one.
It's not dangerous. Endemic does not mean that we give up. Endemic has a meaning about a low level circulation. And what we are seeing, the future of COVID 19, is that we will continue to see outbreaks among susceptible populations. Right now, we are very much in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm uncomfortable with the use of this phrase that it's endemic, it's over, or it's endemic for us and it's a pandemic over there. That is not true. And we can't use these words to pretend that the virus is over for, or that the pandemic is over for some and not for others.
Okay, I think that pretty much sums it up. Charlie, I know you just saw the third clip, which I somehow got it disappeared from my tab, but it was the lieutenant governor talking about we are endemic. Now I kind of know where Blangiardi gets his advice from, and I think we all know that the lieutenant governor is out telling everyone that we're COVID is now an endemic in Hawaii. It's endemic, and that we shouldn't be concerned. That we should be. He's pushing to lift all limits. I mean, all restrictions. Um, and it's bizarre. He wants to start January 1st brand new. He said, "We want to have a new beginning, and lift all the restrictions by January 1st." And that he's not concerned about what's happening around the world and what's happening around our country. And that lady that you just heard is from the World Health Organization telling people that we shouldn't be using that term, endemic, that it's endemic for us, but it's a pandemic elsewhere. And it's exactly what the lieutenant governor's message was this morning. Unbelievable. So that's where I wanted to start off the show tonight, Charlie, because I think we're at the point now where his message is not going to change. Dr. Char just said a few days ago that we are going to see outbreaks. That she is concerned about the holidays, and in fact, the lieutenant governor was telling everyone to go enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. Get back to the hugging. Get back to the socializing with your family and your friends. And Libby Char is saying, be careful. We're going to see surges. The World Health Organization is very concerned because of what's happening in other countries and in other states. Unbelievable. So, anyway, Charlie, I wanted to just share that today and open it up with that because I know it's Aloha Friday, but I when I hear that, and I can only imagine how many people right now over the dinner table or having some cocktails after work that watch that and sharing that message with their friends and their families that that this is what's happening. That's why I didn't wear my Aloha shirt tonight. I wore this one because I know that it's going to take a whole lot of prayers to get us out of this thing because we cannot rely on man anymore. Not here in Hawaii anyway. Not with our leaders. Uh, Honestly, Charlie, I'm afraid of what's going to come, and that's kind of my comments for tonight, man.
Uh, best thing you can do. That's why I just stay mellow as much as possible because no use trying to go toe to toe with somebody like that. If you're gonna do that, you might as well just look at yourself in the mirror and try to go toe to toe with yourself. You ain't gonna get nowhere, right? So
Hmm.
the key thing is, I think there's a lot of smart people in the village right now. Reading in the comments, they understand what is right, what is wrong. That's the bottom line. He can sugarcoat all he wants because, and he says, I'm a doctor first, lieutenant governor second. No, you're a politician capitalizing on using your position to make it known what you want because you feel there's a group of people that just wants everything to open up, right? Doesn't matter at what cost. He's going to go for it. And he's on that gravy train. He's riding on that train. And all I'm saying is this: but what if you are wrong, Lieutenant Governor? What if something bad happens, like it did several months back when we had those weird high numbers? Okay, what did we do? We just played the wait and see, and by golly, right after that, we had the trickling effect of people starting to pass away, and you weren't able to stop the deaths.
Mhm.
Yet you made up a lot of excuses why they were in there, or what was happening. But nevertheless, what do you tell the families who lost a loved one? You made it sound very easy that don't worry, everything is over. Don't worry. It was just the beginning. Okay? And I kept on saying this many times over. It's all about messaging. If you can command an audience because of the position you hold and what you say, you better be responsible about what you're saying. Don't put out falsehoods because people will literally take it. And you know what? You become accountable for that. I don't know how you feel about that, Mel, but I think he's accountable.
Well, he definitely should be.
Yep.
I think that's what's everybody's demanding. That, brother, but how are you going to be accountable for something that you don't believe is wrong? And he doesn't, Charles. He
Hmm.
doesn't. He thinks that, obviously he has in his mind believes that the majority of the voters
Hmm.
support this wide open. It's not serious, and that's what he's banking on. So he's playing to that crowd, even though, well, you already heard the World Health Organization lady. You already heard experts saying that it's foolish. They're either lying or they're foolish if they're talking about that this is an endemic and this is going to go away. But
Hmm.
he doesn't. That doesn't phase him. I think I found the clip, Charlie. Hold on. I think I found the one that we didn't, that kind of disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is. I hope it
You
is.
spoke about this virus going from a pandemic to being endemic. George White has a little bit of pushback here this morning, saying the WHO and local experts have made crystal clear that anybody who predicts the pandemic is POW or endemic is pretending, lying, or foolish. Why are you right and the experts wrong?
Great question, George.
Well, I haven't predicted that it's over, but the state of Hawaii, it is endemic if you look at where it is right now.
You spoke about this virus going from a pandemic to being endemic. George White has a little bit of pushback here this morning, saying the WHO and local experts have made crystal clear that anybody who predicts the pandemic is POW or endemic is pretending, lying, or foolish. Why are you right and the experts wrong?
Well, I haven't predicted that it's over, but the state of Hawaii, it is endemic if you look at where it is right now.
All right. I had to play it twice just so you guys could hear the context twice. It is endemic in Hawaii, um, which goes completely against what the World Health Organization and all the other experts that we've had on our show. Thank you again, George White. He's going to be compiling some comparison videos for us, George, and we will be more than happy to show it on our show. But it's quite clear. It is quite clear that the lieutenant governor's direction is one that goes against all medical experts, uh, all medical advice. And yet, Charlie, I agree with you when he said that his decisions are as a doctor first and a lieutenant governor second. That absolutely is, it cannot be farther or further from the truth. Further from the truth.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Well,
now we just
you
gotta buckle up and take care of ourselves. That's what we got to do.
well, I think the vast majority of people who are safety minded, one basically dispels anything that the LG says, and they're just not going to waste their time on it. Two, they keep themselves safe wherever they go because they know how fast this virus can turn on a person, even if you're vaccinated. We've seen it happen before, but it's you do have some cushion You have a barrier there, right? So a common person who knows that this ain't over yet, they're not going to be. Remember, I was telling you about how a football player sometimes they score one touchdown, they're celebrating as if they're the world champs, and the game not even power yet, and then at the very end they lose because they're too overconfident, right?
Hmm.
Many of the smart people know that it's okay to be confident so you get a good feeling inside, but it's not okay to play it as if you got no worries in the world because it can sneak up and bite you in the collar when you least expect it. That's what it is.
Absolutely. And I don't see how we're going to avoid that. I don't see how we're going to avoid that. Again, just seeing what's happening around the world and around the country. Now, he also today on the show, he talked about we only have 46 or 64, I can't remember, COVID patients in the hospital.
46.
46, okay. We have 46 patients, COVID patients in the hospital. But if you watched the news last night, the admissions have broken all records. Non-COVID, non-COVID. It doesn't matter. We talked about this for months now. Doesn't matter whether you're a COVID patient or a non-COVID patient. When you're in need of an ICU bed, when you're in need of a ventilator, when you're in need of a hospital room, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you're COVID or not. What they said last night on the news, and again, our guy Hilton, the guy that supported the governor's opening up because everything was fine, is now crying again, saying we have over 2,400 people in hospitals throughout the state. We are reaching capacities. Kaiser might be going on strike. We are heading for another crisis. But we only have 46 COVID patients in the hospital, so it's okay to open up. Well, you see, another surge like we had, even a half a surge that we had a few months ago, back in September, um, and you have 2,400 occupied hospital beds. Where are those guys going to go? Where are those 200 patients? Where we remember we had like 400 or so people in the hospital, 500 or whatever, 400. Imagine if half of that needed a room, and these guys are majority of them are ICU. Where are they going to go?
Mhm.
So it's irrelevant to tell me we only have 46 patients. See, he's not anticipating a surge. I think the lieutenant governor either is what the WHO said, either lying or foolish to think that another surge with the capacity already tasked or taxed at our hospitals, we cannot afford another surge, even a half a surge or a quarter surge. And no, what we did was we made it more difficult or more dangerous by restricting travel restrictions and it's terrible. It's scary because where are these guys? Where are these patients going to go? And I don't care if you have COVID or not, Charlie. You know, you didn't have COVID when you went to the hospital.
Mhm.
Our good friend's husband, hip replacement, had to send him to a hospital. I mean, a hotel. 77-year-old, total hip replacement. Next morning, sorry, we got to move you to a hotel because we got to open up. We need your bed. But you think the lieutenant governor is concerned about that? You think our governor is concerned about? He's in Scotland talking about global warming. So that's what bothers me, I guess, is remember how we keep talking about being proactive and not reactive. These guys are perfectly fine with just being reactive and waiting, and hey, if we get more COVID, we'll put more tents out, and we'll call the federal government to send more travel nurses. As long
Mm.
as we don't, as long as we don't interfere with our tourist industry, as long as we don't interfere with the economy, people will die. That's the cost of doing business. That's how I see it. That's the wrong way to go. I think.
Well, one thing to remember, and that is we don't want COVID to be part of the reason why you end up in a hospital, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. So whether it's COVID, non-COVID, and you occupy your space in bed, the thing is you're walking through the doors of the hospital because you're sick. So as we said all along, why not be safe? Don't be foolish. Don't be crazy. But then you listen to somebody like the lieutenant governor. Now remember, when we first had the discussion about the test testing when you come back, right? He was adamant, didn't need that, right? And what set him off was the fact that, and maybe I should have said it the way I did, but I said it, and I'm not going to take it back, nor am I going to apologize. All I said was, now wait a minute, Lieutenant Governor. You're the poster child for the tooth process because through that's how I discovered you had COVID, and that's how one of your security personnel got sick. Remember that interview, Mel?
Hmm. Yes, I do.
And that was the beginning of the end for our relationship.
Yeah. Well, he has locked on to his theory. He has locked on. I mean, he has.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no easing off the gas pedal, man. He is.
Yeah.
Uh, he's convinced that by January 1st
He's
we'll be
digging in.
open.
He's digging in for the big storm. No worry. He's telegraphing that to everybody. Yeah.
The problem is that if that because he has a very strong influence, whether you like him or not, he has a very strong influence. Obviously, right? Because look, the governor is slowly caving in. Um, People are going to get sick and people are going to die, and that's I think that's my main focus, Charlie. And I think it just comes from both of our backgrounds. Is we got to protect life and property. That's what we do. That's our DNA. So I think it's harder for us to sit back and watch this unfold, knowing that the outcome is not going to be pleasant and it's not going to
Mhm.
be good, and we're going to see more disaster, more devastation, more pain, more suffering. It's I think that's the frustrating part for many of us in the village, many of us,
Mhm.
because his decisions and his comments and the way people react to. I mean, remember, he's got a lot of fans that support his theory. There's a lot of people in our state that actually believe COVID is fake and that it's past and that we can be like the rest of the country, opening up. And that's where it becomes dangerous because now you encourage people, especially coming into the holidays. If anybody that watched that today had any question about having a Thanksgiving party, well, he encouraged that. He encouraged people to go out and enjoy your families. And I think that is where um, it's scary for me. Scary. Leah is asking for our boosters. Did we have any side effects? I started to jump that in, but it's off tangent question. She says, "Your booster. Did you feel heaviness as the day went?" I just was tired. That was it. That was the extent of my. I had
No,
the Moderna. I had
mine
the
was
Moderna.
mine was bad. High fever, chills, the whole works. I stayed on my back. It started off with the slow pressure. The headache was the one. I've never had headache like that. I mean, it just slowly, just like somebody's hands was bigger than your head, and it was just like squeezing them and like, oh man, let it go, let it go. No, and then, but then you know what's funny is once you break that fever, it's just that you get that mean sweat and just like ta-da, your senses, especially your smell and your taste, come back, right? Just it just comes back like that. Your Hanabata, you know that you had on leaky the whole time, but it just dry up. You think, oh, you'll get Hanabata all over the place. Nope, bugger just stay right up there in the canal. Thing do not pass go. It just stops for some reason. Yeah, it was one of those.
Yeah, I've been blessed all the way around from my first J&J to my booster. I didn't except the first one. My J&J. I had a sore arm,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't have other than being tired. Patsy, on the other hand, had the same Moderna, and she got what you got, Charlie. She
Hmm.
got what you got. My mother-in-law, 84 years old, sore arm, and that was it. You know. So, but I actually feel a lot better now that I did get boosted, and that I'm a little bit more protection than I had.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a risk, and you got decide for yourself. What it is, what it is you want. You want to take a shot and not, or take a chance and not get the booster. That was one of the things I think George brought up on today's show as well. George pumped away on the questions, and it was, we're seeing breakthrough cases, but breakthrough cases are a positive case on anyone that is vaccinated. But George brought up a good point today, where if you had your vaccines early in the process and your immunity has been waning, um, and you're not boosted, then you're gonna get COVID, and you're gonna be a breakthrough case. But is it truly a breakthrough case? Because are you truly vaccinated at the best level because you have not gotten the booster? Yeah, yeah, does that make sense? I mean, if your booster runs out, I mean, your vaccine uh, effectiveness wears down after 6, 7 months, 8 months, and on your month eighth you get COVID. That's not like getting COVID where you're fully vaccinated with the maximum protection. So that's what you got to think about. Is many of our vaccine or our breakthrough cases happen to people that have a waning immunity from the vaccine that has been wearing off. So and that was one of the questions that he totally avoided, because there's no way of tracking boosters. We don't track boosters at all. So how
But,
many of the
but,
people out there are running around with waning immunity?
but why is it that some vaccines have a shelf life, right? And then there's some vaccines you take like the like your shots for hepatitis, right? And you take those shots, and then after what I believe the second time you good for life.
Yeah, that's
How
just a
does yeah, but
different vaccine. Different, these are I'd let the doctors explain the differences, but these are not intended. It's a whole different process, and part of it is because of the virus. So that'd be a great question to ask when we get our experts back on.
I mean
Um,
I wonder if they can take this vaccine and tweak it a little to make it long lasting or long acting, I should say.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think because the way this virus constantly mutates and changes. Did you see the news tonight about the measles making a comeback? Because they had a year of no, of very limited vaccinations for newborns, for babies. So now measles is becoming a problem again in America. My question was, why didn't? What was the reason? They said because of COVID, the kids weren't getting vaccines, but I don't see. I mean, the baby is born in a hospital, right? I mean, for the most part, some moms want to give birth at home or in a swimming pool or in a bathtub or whatever, but for the most part, the children are babies are born in hospitals. I don't understand how that impacted these kids getting their measles vaccine. I don't, and that was not explained clearly on the news. But it was like we went a year without measles vaccines, and now measles bad stuff, bad stuff, and that's all we need is an epidemic of or a pandemic of measles. Lord have mercy. And where do you think the measles come in from, Charlie? Where do you think these virus or these measles germs coming in?
Well,
You
I
know?
think the measles come from that small four-legged animal like a weasel.
Mm.
That to distinguish between the weasel and the measles. That's why they call it the measles.
Oh, they just changed the name.
Yeah, it came
Put
from a
the M
weasel.
there. I see. I got it. I got it.
I don't know.
No, I think you're right, Charlie.
You know,
Yeah, but
you remember when COVID first started? They go, God damn, the guy gotta go eat one bat or some knucklehead reason, right? And so after a while, cultures, different cultures eat whatever they like eat. And I never see nothing bad happen. Just this one time at the wrong drive-through window in Wuhan, bingo,
got the damn bat.
he got the bat. I said, man, he says, you got the wrong bat. You're supposed to get the spicy bat. The spicy bat, no more nothing. But you got the wrong bat. And I tell you, oh my God. It's
And I tell you, it's scary though. I mean, it's really is scary. It's scary, and it's so bizarre because when you listen to the experts, they all talk about, in fact, all the national experts talk about how dangerous it is when we open up to international travel, because that is where these viruses come in, and they
yeah.
test and they get a vaccine card. We know that really, it's not 100%. And again, the
Vaccine
lieutenant governor.
cards in some of these countries, I swear, came off the wrapper of the kind of toilet paper wrapper. The way it looks.
The which one?
Some of these vaccine cards, I said, "Gee,
Oh
this
yeah, yeah.
this came from one. I think came from one big package toilet paper. I mean, look like a toilet paper wrapper, and the thing is so flimsy." I remember seeing one. The guy swears. He says, "No," and he broke. So you could tell he was someplace like Mexico, something like that. So I saw a couple words I recognized, right? But I mean, just by the way it's spelled, so I figured, oh, okay, this is like from Mexico. And he's trying to point to me, goes, "See, this says I'm fully vaccinated." So I look at brother, and he's standing right next to me. I said, "Brother, back up. 6 foot distance, first of all. Second, all I could tell him was, so you say."
Well, like the governor. Remember when the governor came out and he had that wonderful press conference about we're opening up to international travel?
Yeah.
And someone asked a question. One of the media asked about his concern for validation of these cards. He said, "This is what he said, Charlie." And you coming from law enforcement, I think you'll find it as stupid as how I did. He says, "We're trying to get copies of the vaccination cards from the other countries so our people will know what they look like."
What,
Oh, okay, I got it. I
what
got
a
it, buddy.
bumbling idiot.
Right on, man. Way to
Can you
go,
just
Governor.
can you just imagine a person comes to the airport with one of these international vaccine cards, and you tell them, "Try hold on, wait, wait. I got another 2,000 mofo. Hold on."
Charlie, remember? I don't know if you ever in your career as a police officer. I don't know. I don't know if you ever came across an international driver's license.
Not really.
Remember now, this is 30 years ago. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is 25, 30 years
It
ago.
wasn't
We never have
accepted. It
no more,
wasn't accepted. Yeah.
no more computers, no more. Our dispatch could check a Hawaii plate and a Hawaii license, and
Right.
possibly with some of the cooperating states from the other states, you could possibly check the status of a California, Washington. Now I
Right.
stop a car and this Japanese couple pulls out an international driver's license. Number one, it's never seen one before. Number two, I didn't believe that they existed. Like, well, you mean to tell me I can go down to my DMV and say I like one international driver's license, and how you take a test? What is it, like a 6 month test? You got to go to each country and drive in each country and then get checked off and then come back. Anyway, long story short, no one knew how to check the validity of an international driver's license, but it freaking looked real. It looked real. I never cited him because I wasn't sure that it wasn't valid.
Mhm.
My point is, you have someone come across at your airport with a Zimbabwe vaccination card, Charlie. How
Mhm.
the hell are you going? And everything is written in Zimbabweanese. How in the hell are you or any of your staff going to be able to figure it out? So what's going to happen, right? You just go. They're going to let them go. I mean, and how can you not? It's you see my point, Charlie? It's like they just don't care. We want to bring them all into Hawaii so we can take their money. And if people get sick, people get sick. That's how it is, man.
The response is when somebody presents you with a Zimbabwe international license, you just tell them like this, "Sir, today is your lucky day.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Seriously.
can go. You can go." Okay.
How are you going to hold
One
them
more.
back? What are you?
Huh?
How are you going to hold them back? And who would you call? Well, you going to call Ige's office and say, "Oh, bro, I never get the memo. Can you send me a sample of the Zimbabwe COVID card, vaccination card?"
And you hear a voice in the background go, "Hold on, it's here somewhere. Hold on."
Yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh boy.
But and as funny as this, hopefully one day when COVID is gone and everything is all cool and can you imagine the amount of comedians that will be doing routines about this? It's the sad part, Charlie. Though is people like yourself who lost a loved one and all of those today. Well, five more today, just like nothing.
Yeah.
Five more, just hey, five more deaths. Yeah, maybe they should put the pictures of the five people with their grieving families. You know, maybe they should really personalize the deaths as opposed to just again. And I hate to keep repeating this, but on Mondays and Tuesdays, how they celebrate because the numbers are had dropped down to double digit, and they all thanking themselves for doing a hell of a job. Lord have mercy. You guys make no sense. You guys make no sense. Pat
Uh,
each other on the shoulder. Hey, good job, guy. We're down to double digits. Yeah, yeah. It's
uh,
crazy. It's nuts.
well, let
Nuts,
us,
nuts, nuts.
let us figure out this. To what extent? To what extent? We gotta bear with this thing. If they are gonna do what they're gonna do, then you know what? I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't even like fart around with them because they only they're wasting precious energy that we have because basically they're not going to change and continue saying the same old rhetoric. But I looking at the comments and I can tell you right now, I am very confident just by the people that's on tonight that they have all the necessary precautions they have in their little arsenal. So they got nothing to worry about. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that joined late, I just want to play this real short clip just to remind everybody that where we're at in COVID in the
Mhm.
world. Let's go replay this real quick.
Endemic does not mean that it's not dangerous. Endemic does not mean that we give up. Endemic has a meaning about a low level circulation. And what we are seeing, the future of COVID 19, is that we will continue to see outbreaks among susceptible populations. Right now, we are very much in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm uncomfortable with the use of this phrase that it's endemic, it's over, or it's endemic for us and it's a pandemic over there. That is not true. And we can't use these words to pretend that the virus is over or that the pandemic is over for some and not for others.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
yeah. I just wanted to
N-
share
n-
that for those of you that came on late because I think that is really the gist of the message I'm trying to get across is, and Charlie and I trying to get across is that this is not over. And regardless of what you hear from the lieutenant governor, who is really the only one that's saying it, but you got to understand this is not over. That we should not be using words like endemic, like Blangiardi, and Green. That in fact it's far from over, and we need to be aware of that, and we shouldn't be uh, softening this down and making it appear that it's gone when it's really not. It's not. We're still very much, as she said. This is from the World Health Organization. We're still very much in the middle of this pandemic, so that's quite scary. So
Well, he's, listening to that, it reminds me of what the lieutenant governor said in his earlier clip. He said it's basically it's over, and he sees that probably at the first of the year, everything open up wide, lifted. I mean, that's what the clip you showed earlier. So, you know,
Yeah.
and over here, I'm just trying to be real smooth, talk with some sense. But in actuality, I'm over here opening the wrapper to some of this starburst.
What happened to the Skittles?
Nah, the Tino can raise my A1C fast enough, so I go with the starburst now.
Look, look. Every time you put one candy in your mouth, Charlie, and I'm serious. Your screen freezes.
Hmm.
Your screen, yeah, seriously, your screen freezes. I don't know why.
Because
It's good. It's good now. It's good now.
no, that's what you call screenshot, right? Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Let's see. If you want Kaiser Permanente workers to not go on strike, it's the same old story. They need to make enough money. I was watching the nurse from Kaiser on the news a couple mornings ago. They were live, and I guess they were out picketing, and she was explaining the conditions that they got to work under. She was explaining uh, the the conditions that 18-hour days, Charlie. 18-hour days, wearing a mask and PPE for 18 hours. And I know we have a lot of medical personnel watching tonight on our show in the village, and we feel for you folks. I've gotten so used to the mask, but we get to take it off at certain times. Our medical professionals, they don't, and I can only feel. And I listen to this girl, and I'm thinking, wow, and Kaiser. I never was a member of Kaiser, so I don't know. I hear good things, I hear bad things, but I hear that from every medical center. But my point is, these people should not be treated like that. These people who have been doing this for almost 2 years now. Holy moly, Charlie! You have a racetrack next to your house?
no,
Was that not you? That
no,
sounded like a truck had go right past.
no.
Anyway, yeah, these people have been doing this for almost 2 years now. Every single day, they've seen some horrible stuff, and Kaiser is willing to give them 1% a year for the contract, and they're gonna adjust. They're gonna make it work by offering less pay to the new employees. Wow, I understand it's a business. I understand they got to make money, and I understand that, but wow, I mean, if Kaiser goes on strike again, we're in the middle of a pandemic. You remember when the airlines was crying because they weren't making money, so they had to get all this infusion of cash. Remember, the government had to pour in the infusion of cash to
No
bail
phony
out.
baloney. You,
Remember
you
when
know,
they had to put in
they
cash for bail out the ships, the barges, and
they phony
and
baloney.
and now where is the government? If in fact I don't know the finances of Kaiser, but if in fact there is an issue, where is the government? Remember now, during a pandemic, during a time where we are short of hospital beds, and what? Oh no, we have some very highly trained managers and supervisors that will take the helm. I don't want no damn manager or supervisor working on me. No, I want the people that know what they're doing. Can you imagine, Charlie, if all the police officers walked out and your supervisors and your managers had to go run beat and take cases? Can you imagine the chaos? They don't even know how to write a report, much less stop a fight. So I understand, and I can only hope that this that we make sure this government, and I don't care who, state, federal, not allow these workers to strike. You cannot, not during a pandemic. I don't really care how you guys work it out. I don't care you guys go write an IOU. I don't care. You cannot allow healthcare workers to walk out because of a contract dispute. So I don't know. We'll see. Marie is saying the strike is not the nurses. Okay, I might be misspeaking. That's the impression I got from the interview that they did. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sorry. That would make more sense if the supervisors and managers could manage the supervisors and managers that walk out, I guess. But my fear is that the capacity, the ability to treat their patients going to be impacted because of this strike. And we simply cannot have that. Simply cannot have that. Damn. I mean, can you imagine all our Kaiser people? Oh, my Lord. Where are they going to go?
I just want to know the prices. How do they who sets the price points on a lot of these treatments? I mean, how can you put a value like oxygen for 9 days at $100,000? I mean,
I don't know.
do you have a meter there that said, okay, you ran so many liters a day? I mean, because when I got charged an exorbitant amount of for oxygen when I was in hospital, I can tell you half the time I took off my nasal cannula, boy, they was charging me. I mean, you can buy yourself one bottle of aspirin, right? A big bottle for $10. Yet they charge you for two in the hospital, $10. Gee whiz.
And they don't let you bring your own medicine.
Yeah,
Yeah, you cannot take your aspirin that you bought. I bought my yeah, it's just yeah, I understand, Charlie. I don't know who
and
oversees
one
that
and
stuff,
one
but
medicine I would not take, and yet they said no, you have to. Why? Because you just have to. You know what that was? Because I wasn't passing bowel movement because I was taking so many pills. They didn't want me to get backed up. And I said, bro, you ain't putting that in me. I don't care what you do. I said, one silly little pill up my kind, where ain't gonna make me drop a load right then and there. You want me to go for it? Eh? Give me one 12 pack and some pokey. I'll give you all you want and some dummies. Ooh, that would piss me off.
look how red I stay. Holy shit. Oh, no pun intended. No pun intended. Or you can have these boiled peanuts, Charlie. This bugger quick acting, bro. This bugger, whoo, baby. In fact, after the show tonight, I'm gonna sit down and watch high school football from Honolulu. And I'm gonna crack this whole bottle, and I will be very regular after that.
You
Very,
remember
very.
on Oahu, Moilili, they had this guy, he was known as the Peanut Man. And the old stadium, all his peanuts are sold down there. But I remember the dry boiled one. Ooh, it was kind of like chewy, but never had that much juice. So it was dried, but it was chewy. Oh, yeah, prune juice. Yep, that even that never worked. I mean,
Oh, then you should have took the pill, bro.
no. I said, you know what? You should have just brought a vacuum cleaner and just put them on high throttle. You know what I mean? That it was what you might call it. Okay, you heard that dinging word.
Yeah, that's like. Is that your bat phone? Is that your work
Yeah.
phone, Charlie?
Hmm.
Yeah. Today I had to spend about 2 hours in the forest in Hanapepe Valley, and man, I hadn't been in that kind of terrain in a long time. It was quite nice. It was beautiful along the stream, and was it's just nice and relaxing to be away from everybody. You know, looking for clues like Inspector Clouseau. But it was just nice to hear the river stream and no outside noises, no cars, just the flow of the river, Honapepe River,
Hmm.
along the rocks. I remember that when I was young, and we used to go check out all the streams and the rivers over here, and it was really, really nice. It was just so nice. Yeah, Hanapepe Valley is magic. And I may have to do more of that, man. I really got to do more of that because that's what's so bizarre about life, especially when you get older. Part of last night's show with that concert that we watched really made you appreciate life, appreciate you know, especially here living in Hawaii. Is for me, especially living here on Kauai, the
Mm,
special, the special place that we so often take for granted. Just something as simple as the Hanapepe River going through the valley, which you drive past and you don't even notice, and to have that opportunity to get out of the car and walk into the forest, making your own trail. I actually got lost. That's why I was in there for so long. I did, Charlie. I ain't joking. I I got lost, uh, and I was starting to worry because there came a point where I couldn't hear the water. Because I know, when you get lost, you just head to the water and then you'll find your way out. But I was so far in the forest, I couldn't even hear the water. I started yelling. I started yelling for my partner who was outside at the car because I was scared somebody would steal our car, and I
brother,
was yelling his name, and he never
brother.
answered. So I knew I was far, far away. So no problem, right? I take out my cell phone to call him. I wanted him to honk the horn. Brother, no more cell service in the forest.
No,
I was like,
but
uh oh, okay, oh well. So whatever. I got out, and but in the meantime, it
uh-huh.
was it was it was a beautiful day, beautiful day. It's just whatever. I was
You
starting to
know,
look for stuff to eat. I was like,
I'm
"There's
laughing
nothing."
because of your Boy Scout theory. You head for the water. I'm thinking to myself, what if you on a parcel of land that is surrounded by water?
Then you've reached your destination, Charlie.
you don't you don't know whether you're coming or going.
Yeah. Well, I know enough that I would. I mean, if in the real survival mode, obviously you would go downstream, right? You would follow the stream down. It would take you to the ocean. That I mean, you don't want to go upstream because heaven knows where that could. You might not know. But yeah. But anyway, I got out without having to use any of my survival skills.
Brother, what if you go in a forest like up Hanapepe Valley, right? You go back there and all of a sudden you see this big thing on a mountain, on rock, that look like a big gorilla head, and you hear a drum going boom, 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 and you see things moving in the brush. I can just picture you yelling and nobody can hear you. And
Yeah, I,
you say, ladies with your cell phone, please, Lord, please. Damn it, no cell service.
yeah, yeah. Reina, you got it, Reina. You just pray. You just. It wasn't as bad as it sounds. It wasn't as bad as it sounds. It wasn't as bad as it sounds. I actually gained a lot from that little excursion. We were able to get what we needed, but it just took a little longer than we had expected. That's it. It just took a little longer. That's like, you know, it's no fun getting lost. I mean, it's no fun. I went hunting one time in my life, Charlie. One time I went hunting. One time I went hunting up Koke. And my friend, good friend, love this guy like a brother. He calls me up. He said, "Bro, you like go hunting? Go hunt deer." I said, "This guy's from LA now." I said, "Bro, since when you hunt?" He goes, "No, I get him. I get him. My friend told me where we can go." So I went like a fool. I had never been hunting. Borrowed my brother's rifle. We went up Koke and we started. We got lost 6 hours, Charlie. 6 hours we was lost. 6 hours, no more food, no more water, because we city boys that wanted to go hunt. I I know somebody told me you go the international help is you shoot 7 rounds. So I go up to a tree, I shoot 7 rounds of my gun, my
And you
rifle.
waste 7 bullets because nobody
7 bullets. No, nobody came. Nobody came. And I tell you, I never went hunting after that. I just never went hunting after that. But we managed to find the road. Of course, the road was about 3 miles. Where we finally came out on the road was about 3 miles from where he hit Bucky's car. I was pissed off. I was pissed off. Yeah, it's not funny when you lost up there. Today I wasn't too concerned because I could kind of see my trail that I had made. But Coquet, I was scared. I was really scared in Coquet. Like I thought I was
No,
gonna die up there.
brother, you know why I'm laughing? Because I picture I always picture myself. You get dreams sometimes. You stay walking on this trail, and one time you're suddenly going, "Rrrr," that thing chasing you, and you go, "Oh!" You try to run, you try to
Yeah.
climb on a tree, and your feet is slipping. I think just bite you right on your collar.
Hey, Charlie. At one part I heard woo, woo, woo. The dogs. I was like, oh my god. I see looking for a tree for climbing. Like I'm gonna have to run away from these damn dogs. Oh my god. Somebody asked me if I broke a sweat. Absolutely broke a sweat. I cut myself. You see, I cut myself. I get oh my god. I go tomorrow, Ty. I go come pick up. We go right back. I go show you where we went.
No need to show me. I believe you.
I mean, can you imagine,
Oh boy.
Charlie? You and me get lost in the forest someplace. Oh my god.
Gary D will be like, I thought you knew where you were going. No, I never said anyone was going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
And come to find
Yeah.
out, we was only 10 feet away from the parking lot.
I just trying to figure out how far was I away. How far was I away from where the car was? I honestly, I think at one point I was going in circles because everything had looked familiar. Everything I was like, damn it, I just saw that. I swear I just saw that.
Oh,
And I had these purple, the purple berries.
man.
Purple. My jeans. I came on Patsy. Go, what is that on you? Purple berry juice all over my jeans. My new jeans. My shoes is wasted. Anyway. What the heck? I needed that though. I really needed that.
Brother, not okay, you keep on me tell Patsy. Patsy, promise. Don't tell nobody what I'm about to tell you.
No, I mean, I wasn't going to tell anybody, but I felt tonight was a good night to share that story because I knew it would get you to laugh, Charlie, because there's so much you care about me. I was lost, and you should be concerned.
I
If you're
am,
laughing, you're making fun of me. You're making fun of me.
I am concerned, brother. Ooh.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God.
the best. That's the best.
Yeah.
Now I
No,
know.
I'll take you up
No,
tomorrow.
now I know. Okay. And I mean this. I will never go hiking with you.
Yeah, not unless you get one path. If you get one, one path, it's perfectly okay. Do not go with me into the forest.
And they always tell
Do not
you
go with me.
never go hiking without a compass. And never walk into a magnet farm because you ain't never know you ain't never gonna know where you stay.
Yeah, actually, I never thought about that. I think my iPhone get one compass on top, but
Yeah.
that really wouldn't have helped me today. That really wouldn't
And
have
not
helped me.
not that kind not that kind Portuguese compass will get you get north, south, east, west, and your compass get not that kind.
No, not that kind. Not that kind. Yeah, Charlie.
Ah,
Raylene said, if you and Uncle Charlie got lost together in a forest, it wouldn't be long. You'd be found soon because if Uncle Charlie laughed like how he is tonight, someone will hear you. Absolutely. I don't think he would be
absolutely.
laughing though.
Ah.
I don't think he would be laughing.
Oh, you'd be
I had
surprised that
laughed when
I went hiking to Kalalau. Kapena, Kirimaka. Me and him, Gary Hiram, we were smaller than me, hiking Kalalau. We never know what we was doing. They told us, hey, go hike Kalalau. Okay. I think we was only like 13, 14 years old. We hiked, we were local kids hiking in there. Get into Kalalau. Hey, get these new species. Tourist girls, no clothes on. Just
yeah,
imagine.
yeah, naked
Yeah.
hippies,
Yeah.
naked hippies.
Nobody told us that, I look at like And the kind Gary Harris said, hey, is this okay or what?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was no naked. There was no naked hippies in Hanapepe Valley. I can promise you that. There a lot of
right.
bugs, a lot of beaches,
Yeah,
a lot of gnats and stuff and
yeah,
mosquitoes and
Gannets, Gannets.
the gnats. Yeah, the gnats. Oh my
A lot
god.
of Gannets.
Yeah. Well, last story, then we'll wrap it up. But I live right on the bottom of the sleeping giant, and back then my neighbor was another cop. He was my partner, one of my partners, and one day we had this brilliant idea. Hey, we go run up. We go run up. Back then we were in shape. We go run up sleeping giant. Well, back then I partook in a lot of alcoholic beverages, so I loaded up my backpack with beer. At the time, I drank Miller Lite, and I loaded them up. We hit the trail, running up, and along the way, get little signs that had 1/8, whatever. They marked all the different
Yeah.
distances. But every time I came across one sign, I pop a beer and I drink a beer. Well, by the time I got to the top, number one, I was feeling pretty good, but I was also dehydrated. I
Yeah.
was like, wow. And then I had to come back down, and I told my friends, well, you guys, no more beer either. No, we'd wipe out our beer on the way up. It was a rough way coming down. But that one the trail is defined, so you cannot get lost. You cannot get lost going up to the Sleeping Giant. But it was fun. But maybe we can do that one, Charlie. We can do that one and go live, and just you and me. We go up to the Sleeping Giant, and
Here's another one. You know, certain times of the year, they get these cornfields. They make maize out of that. You and me, we should
yeah,
try one time. Because, see, I believe I cheat. If I don't can find my way out, I just stomp it on some corn, ears of corn. I just make my own trail for get out. Because
yeah,
I hate when you walk in something and boom, you hit your head again. You remember the carnival used to have that trailer you go in and all get mirrors. You gotta try to find your way
yeah,
through.
yeah.
Oh,
You broke them. You boss them.
I mean, I had Lashkas that just keep on walking. Yeah, this way, patak. No, 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 not that way. This way, patak. You know, it was just
Oh God.
continuing. Yeah. But anyway, hey,
Well,
thanks for
Charles.
brother. Thank you for the laugh. That was the best.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I honestly was not going to share that story with anybody, but hey,
Yeah.
part of life, right?
No,
So
that's an
transparency,
experience.
bro. Transparency.
So for our friends out there, you learn from our mistakes.
Yes. Yes. So see, if you go Hanapepe into the forest, make sure you take Snicker or Skittles, and you leave one trail of as long as Charlie not around, you leave one trail of Skittles so that you know how to get out. Unless Charlie's there, he's gonna eat the Skittles. But if he's not there, then it works. Then it works.
Or, you know how they tell you, hey, you go, you tie one string, right? Then you come back, the string gone. You have to say, hey, I thought you didn't tie one string. No, I put the string. I never knew you wanted me for tie them on the tree.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Well, all right, Charles. What's your closing thoughts for the weekend, guys? What's your closing thoughts for the weekend
Well,
for
first of
for the
all,
village?
I'd like to extend my fondest mahalos to all the veterans that served in all the different branches of government, of our military. I want to, Veterans Day was just the other day. And, I just say thank you. And to the families of those um, whose loved one was lost, who paid the ultimate price in giving up their lives to protect the freedoms of ours. I want to say thank you to you. Looking forward, there is so many things we have to be thankful for, and one is I thank God that we have, and I don't mean this in a facetious way, but we have common sense, and we just need to use that common sense always. And like I said, based on what I've seen in the comments tonight, I am very, very comfortable that our little village is running on all cylinders, and you folks get it. And if you can spread the word out there, then by golly, let's do it because I don't want anybody succumb to the nonsense that's being spewed by some of our officials. It's to me, it's blatantly wrong. It should never happen. I want to thank you, my brother Mel, for just letting me tonight. I needed one laugh. But because I was just picturing in my head, I getting chased by a lion, trying to climb up a tree. I don't can even get 2 feet up the tree and a bug bite me right in my cole. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I know I'll sleep good tonight, laughing my way into my dreams. So to all of my family and friends out there, I love you all. Take care, and hopefully we'll have some news, good news, in the days to come. So you take care, Mel.
All right, on. Thank you. Thanks, Chris Fire. Yeah, I gotta get up to Koke. I really do, and we'll do the 974-foot trail that you cannot get lost on. But on a serious note, people, today when I watched the spotlight with the lieutenant governor, it made it very clear to me that this the village is so important. That this village that was created is probably going to be the vehicle to get the real word out, and not this nonsense that has been spewed by so many people. The village is going to be the one to get the word out, and that means all of us. So George White, again, mahalo for your work with the video, getting us to share the clip. See, that's it. That's what was said, and that's the danger of the message. That it's up to us in the village to go out and make the corrections and let our family and friends know that we got to protect ourselves. All right. So to the village, stay safe, y'all. I love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And yes, for those of you that tuned in last night, thank you so much. We will be back on Monday night. We're going to try load up next week. Based on what we heard today, I want to try load up next week with experts so we can get the real dope from people that actually know what they're doing and care about the people of Hawaii. All right, with that, folks, you take care. God bless. We love you guys.